This is the AOC Sports High School Football Preview Show.
All right, I know we say it every year, Dan Brennan. How do we have the season here already? I'm Jim Cox, Dan Brennan. High school football season is here, and it's hard to believe that it's here. Like, we're ready to start this game, ready to start this season.
It's hard to believe they called us back.
I know.
That's something to me.
Yeah, we're on like year-to-year contract. There's never been a long-term contract ever. Year to year to year. We're like the guy who's just really good on special teams. They just bring us back each year.
Blame management for that. But it's great to be here. We've got another great game. NBC 15 tonight, which is awfully
on the
cool.
big stick, as they say. Yeah.
And one of the big changes you're going to notice when you watch high school football this year is
my hairpiece.
I've been noticing that for 8 years. HD. We're now in HD.
Yes.
So you're going to be able to see this game like you would with the same quality you would see nearly any football game on TV.
8K, I believe. I believe we're in 8K, not just 4K, 8K, I believe.
Okay.
I might be making that part up. The game is Saraland and Daphne. We're in Daphne, so we're excited about that one. And boy, 7A loaded again as usual for Daphne. 6A, it's just a circus down in 6A right now with all the good teams. We'll talk all about that. Kenny King from Daphne here, Jeff Kelly from Saraland here as well.
And we've been doing this so long. Both of them probably. We just barely missed broadcasting Kenny King's days at Daphne as a player, and maybe Jeff at Citronelle.
Yeah, not by much. Yeah, and just like Dallas Jones, who played star at Saraland, of course, USC and Tennessee. Now I'm getting ready to watch him on Sunday with my Bears. I'm excited about that. We did his games on TV, so it's just means we've been doing this a long.
That's what it means.
I mean, was Heather Healy our sideline report like? You might even be born when we started doing this yet. It's close. We don't want to give away. We don't want to give your age on TV, but it was close. So usually we have a doctor here at AOC, and so during the off season, Heather Healy was very busy, and she went to medical school, and she's now our doctor. In the first segment.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ask whatever medical questions you have. You might not like the answer.
Do you really want me to do that? No.
Well, you could. You might not like the answer.
All right, so you joined us last year, first year on the sideline. Did a great job. We're super excited to have you. As we said, loved having you there, and you got to be excited as well because I know, like, Friday nights on the sideline, this is your jam.
This really is, and like I told you guys earlier, it is so great to be back for this second season. It's such an honor to be with you guys, and being on the sidelines, it is just so electric down there, and when you know you're meant to do something, that's what I feel like when I'm on the sidelines. So I am so excited to be back for round two.
We think that you're meant to do this too.
Oh, well, thank you.
It shows.
That means a lot.
Yeah, you prepare great, and
thank you so much.
You take instruction very well because the job was new, but the entire landscape of what high school football is in South Alabama was brand new to you. There's a lot of catching up to do.
There really was. You got to analyze every team. You got to research and try to get to know the coaches and players as well as you can under the circumstances. So to come back and kind of reignite that again, it really is going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. So I know a little bit more about the landscape this year. So it's really cool to see what's going to happen next for these teams come this season.
Yeah, and how about this matchup? How about this? I mean, for both teams. I mean, I'm sure as you are. Your Daphne and your Saraland, you also like scheduling can become a challenge. Finding teams to be able to play, those type of things, having schedules line up. So I mean, both of these teams, and we've seen it as long as both men have been coaches here. They're not afraid to play a tough non-region opponent to either close out the season or that week in the middle or at the end, and that's what we're seeing to open things up this year.
Yeah, obviously they've got faith in the squads that they have and the programs that they've built. They're talented teams, so they can feel good about going into nearly any game. And I think we're going to see again tonight two very talented teams, a lot of really good skill players on the field tonight.
Yeah, both sides of the ball. Daphne really returned some quality guys on the defensive side. Looking forward to seeing that as well. Probably more during the game. We'll talk a little bit more about the quarterbacks. I don't know if we really need to. It's a story we'll talk about during the game while we're doing that. But also, the weather could be. We record this on Wednesday nights, but weather could be an issue on Friday night.
It definitely could. So you guys are very lucky to not be down there. But again, weather is an issue. Wetness is an issue. Being down there and had so much rain. But I mean, these guys are used to it. These teams are used to it because in this area, that's really all you get down here in the month of August. Right? So for them to practice and be prepared for this, I think they'll be just fine.
I'm
I
excited.
won't be. My hair
No,
won't be.
no.
But you guys will be just fine. They'll
Bad
be
night
just fine.
for you.
Yeah.
But you'll hang in there. I'm sure you're going to do a great job.
I hope so.
Yeah, her hair might look bad. We got 22 years of that between us. So we got 44 years of that
Yeah.
between us. So we're not going to feel too
I'm,
bad for
I'm
you.
happy when my hair looks like anything.
Yeah. So, all right. Dr. Healy, thanks for being
Yes.
with us.
Anytime.
Next week we'll talk, like ankle fractures and
Yeah.
things like that.
Meniscus,
And-
all that stuff.
We're
We're good.
Meniscus on us. All right. When we come back, we will talk with the Saraland Spartans. Head coach Jeff Kelly is here. Ryan Williams, wide receiver, as well as we get ready for our matchup to open things up on Friday Night Rivals. Saraland and Daphne tonight from the Eastern Shore, and it comes up in about 20 minutes. Rivals opening up the season here for 2022. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Jeff Kelly, head coach of the Saraland Spartans, Ryan Williams, wide receiver from the Spartans, here with us. And I know Coach Dan and I were just talking about it. You and I have talked about it. I'm sure it's always hard to believe when week 1 or week 0 actually rolls around, isn't it?
We're excited. You know, August 19th, we've been looking forward to this for, heck, 6 or 8 months. When you go through the off-season workouts, spring training, and summer, just that day-to-day grind, and at some point you're going to get to the season, and now we're here, and a lot of reps over the last 6 months. We're excited to see these kids play.
Yeah, you're excited for the opening of the season, and you really are excited about this team.
Yeah.
And what stands out to me is a couple of things, pretty unusual, I think. Some of the best players are some of the youngest players.
We've got a lot of youth. We really do, and that's exciting. On one hand, we've got a lot of talent, a lot of, guys that, some guys like Ryan and some of the others that ended up being key factors for us last year, even as a freshman.
Yeah.
And so if there's ever such a thing as an experienced sophomore, we got a couple of those guys. Ryan, Sante, some of those guys, KJ, all those guys. Even though they're young, they played a bunch of football, and so we've got a good junior class. We've got some seniors that are playing some key roles, and so we've got a good mix, of young guys, veteran guys. But this bunch has been a fun group to prepare with. They love to practice. They show up every day, ready to go to work.
It's kind of a trademark of Saraland teams, though, isn't it?
For the most part, but every group's different. Every group's different. This group, they're how they roll in every day ready to work, the youth, the excitement, it's infectious.
You told me that they're young, but they're mature.
We are. We've got some young guys, but they don't act young. They don't play young. They bring a lot of maturity, and they understand when it's time to go to work. And
They want to go to work.
And they've been good players.
Yeah.
And we just roll in every day to idea. Let's go get a little better. Let's go to work. Let's work on the things we can control. Let's get better at us. And the rest will take care of itself. But just excited to get the season going tonight. Tonight's going to be a big night, first game of the season. But for both teams, I mean, you've got a whole season in front of you. So the thing I'm looking forward to is get these young guys out there. Hey, let's go compete. Let's see where we are. Let's see what we need to get better at. But hey, let's tee it up and let's see what happens.
So Ryan Williams, we said wide receiver, started last year, played a ton of big contributor, as Coach Kelly just said, on offense. Have you known for a long time, kind of like your sophomore class right now, that y'all kind of knew that like when y'all got up there on Friday nights that y'all were going to have a chance to do something special at Saraland?
Yes, sir. We always were set apart. We always work really hard together on and off the field.
What was last year like, Ryan? Because you were so young and you were starter, I believe.
He was.
And
Day
so
one.
it was one of those things we could see early in the season. Your team was young. You didn't quite have everything figured out.
Right.
You ended up having a great season. Well, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, how much do you think you grew as a player?
I definitely think I grew a lot, just understanding how to maneuver on the field with all the older guys.
Got to be ready to go up against somebody else too, right? Like tired of going against your teammates. You're ready to go get after somebody in a either a purple or probably a white jersey on Friday night, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of work in the off season. Just here in Alabama, like do y'all is there more practice? Like, do y'all get to do more in the off season in Alabama than they do in other states?
You know,
it really seems like that.
Yes and no. I mean, when you get to the summer, you can practice. You know, you can get out there and most everybody they condition, but you know, you practice every day. Now the thing we can't do, we can't put the pads on. You can go to some neighboring states, Georgia, some of the others they can have padded practices even against other schools. So there's a lot of things we can't, but yeah, I mean, we've been going at it a long time. You know, we've had, I guess, 22 practices during the summer. You had 10 in the spring, and then you're going on 3 weeks here in August. So, you know, there's going to be some mistakes out there, being the first game in live situations. But I think all these guys on both sides are probably ready to get out there and get this thing going.
Heck, the reward is Friday, the game. Like, it's tonight. That's the reward for all those practices, right?
Without a doubt. Yeah. But no, it's a good group, and you know, looking forward to tonight. You know, we got a big game, tough opponent coming across the bay, and you know, a team we played several times over the years, and know, you know, a lot of respect for Coach King and the things that he does with his program, and it's a great way to kick the season off.
How many coaches we have that went against each other in college, like Southern Miss, Alabama?
Yeah.
Did you sack him, Coach? Did you sack him? You sack him? I think so. We might bring that up a little bit later. Coach Jeff Kelly, Saraland, Ryan Williams, wide receiver from Saraland. The Spartans on the road tonight taking on Daphne. That's our Friday night matchup to open up the season. When we come back, we'll talk with Coach Kenny King about those Daphne Trojans as we get ready for tonight's Week 1 game here on Friday Night Rivalry. I do love just hanging with our coaches and players, don't you? It's so much.
I know, I do too.
So much fun. Jim Cox, Stan Brennan, head coach Kenny King of the Daphne Trojans, Stacy Boykins, the wide receiver for the Trojans. We'll talk more. I bet we're going to talk about him a lot here tonight. And Coach, you're just hearing what Coach Kelly was saying, and I'm sure you're echoing a lot of the same thoughts that. Let's get after it. Let's go play some football. Let's have a Friday night game, right?
Absolutely. Like he was saying, in the summer, you working in the spring, you're working in the summer, and you're ready to hit on somebody else. You know, it's one of those things that we put in the necessary work, and it's finally a game week, and it's finally time to play a game tonight.
So this is year, how many in Daphne for you?
Seven.
Seven. And just remember that you were the new guy, and you had played at Daphne, and we talked about, I'd seen you in high school. Let's talk about how this team, and maybe you can't talk about it just yet, you're not sure, but how this team, you know, sizes up in terms of attitude, and maturity, and talent.
When you're talking about the program, you know, we look at these guys as they've been in the program for a while, they've grown up in the program, so they understand the expectation. Mm-hmm. Our thoughts was this year to make sure that we go in with that attitude of making sure that y'all understand that we got to be a champions. Mm-hmm. We got to play like champions. We got to work like champions. In order for us to do that, we got to come in every day, hit that bell, and go to work. So the guys have done a great job coming in. The attendance been great all summer, especially in the spring. A lot of guys came out. You know, this is the first year out of 7 years we had over 100 guys that came out for football. So the atmosphere is great here at Daphne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, when you think about being there 7 years now, you've got all those kids, middle school, like you got them all in the same conveyor belt, doing all the same things that you want them to be doing, which really helps a program grow when you get that stability, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Stacy here, we were talking, we were having fun. We were like guessing heights and weights in the commercial break. Talk about you as you get ready for this year. A lot of attention on you, highly rated prospect, expecting a big year, and as a senior, I know you're ready to get after it, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm really ready. Really ready.
Talk about what the spring and summer has been like from an offensive standpoint. You've got Gabe Reynolds now, quarterback at Daphne. Talk about what that's been like getting ready for this season.
We've been adapting to Gabe being our quarterback, getting work off the field and on the field every day, getting in work. We've been ready to work every day.
What would an ideal game be for you today? Certainly Daphne wins. What kind of game would you like to have tonight on NBC 15 against Saraland?
What type of game I would like to have is for the team to win. That's the type of game I would want to have.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
And for that to happen, like you'd like him to be a big part of the reason that happens, right? I mean, he's a
Yes.
weapon. I mean, he is a weapon.
Yeah, he's a big specimen, and we target him a lot. And it's his year, it's his senior year, so we expect some great things out of him this year. So we're excited for the opportunity he has to go out and compete. So we're excited for all our seniors. We got a great group of seniors that put in necessary work to be successful. So tonight they get to show their talents.
So it's every year is a quote unquote rebuilding year as you have kids graduate and things, but you do have some experience coming back, some leadership on the defensive side of the football, which I know we always know Daphne's going to play good defense, but you got some nice returning young men on that side of the ball this year.
Yes, sir. I've always been a part of the defensive side of the ball, and those guys take a special interest of playing for me on the defensive side of the ball. So we got a group of seniors that's proudful. They get after it. They have a lot of energy. I love the energy that they bring on an everyday basis. So they get after our offense a little bit. So it's definitely time for them to get after somebody else.
That was my next question. Stacy, that defense is very aggressive. That's
Yes,
what
sir.
they do. They try to make you uncomfortable. What is it like practicing? Now, you know the guys, but at the same time, they they're disruptive.
Yes, sir. What it's like practicing against them every day, it's rough. It's rough. They bring it every day. I like their energy. They get the offense up. They get everybody up in practice. I like it.
Yeah.
In week one, I think Coach Kelly was mentioning too. He said, there is so much excitement and everybody's looking forward to it. But you also, I'm guessing, as a coach, you have to kind of, I don't want to say compartmentalize, but it's like, hey, you can't. This is week one of the season. You can't have it be too high or too low depending on what happens at the end of tonight's game, right?
Yes, the biggest thing you got to tell them, it's a game. It's the first game, but you can't get so hyped that you get yourself out of the game. I mean, we've been preaching discipline since day one, since spring. You got to go in with a level head, understanding the game, and make sure you go out and execute. And the last thing is just having fun. I think we get away from that sometimes as young guys. I played the game for a long time, and we used to have fun. And I see those guys stressed out. So I always tell guys, man, just have fun, enjoy the game of football.
It's so serious down here, such a big deal. It's on TV, and we all forget they are just young men, and they should be doing it for fun. It's high school football. Like you're going to have a great career, but also enjoy the moment. Right?
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment.
And that's why we have them on TV.
Yeah.
We have them with their helmets off. People get a chance to meet them. Who are these guys?
Yep.
And also we talk to them before the game, and I think we're able to convey that on Friday Night Rivals.
We can't wait. Kickoff is, we're about 10 minutes away. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Coach. Heather's going to be back to wrap us up. Dan and I are going to head up to the press box where it's nice and dry. Heather, maybe not so dry here on this Friday night. We start the season, Saraland and Daphne tonight here on Friday Night Rivals.
With the preview show. We just got finished with Jim and Dan, and now you get to talk with me for a little bit. But before we do so and get to know our players a little bit more, we have to talk about our Wendy's Giant of the Week. Do you want to be this week's Wendy's Giant of the Week? If you're a junior or a senior who plays football in any of the high schools in our Alabama DMA, well, guess what? You can win. Log on to utv44.com and click on the contest tab to be entered for a Wendy's Giant of the Week prize pack. Rules and regulations, of course, do apply. All right, this is my favorite segment of the program because it is just me and myself and I with these two players right here, Ryan Williams from Saraland and Stacy Boykins Jr. from Daphne. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Before we get into all the fun rapid fire questions, the hardest questions you're ever going to have to answer, Ryan, let me start with you. First day of practice, it was just a few weeks ago. Now we are finally in game one. How excited are you, number one, and what have you guys done to prepare for this week's game?
I'm very excited. I feel like we've prepared very well, executed, and we just want to execute this Friday.
Absolutely. All right. And Coach Kelly, he said earlier with Jim and Dan that each group is different. So how would you describe, in your own words, how would you describe this team this year?
This team, we're very explosive. We can make a lot of big plays at any time. We're very young.
I'm excited to see some explosive plays from you guys tonight for sure. Now, Stacy, you're a senior. You were a leader of this team. Describe your leadership style and how the team's responded so far.
My leadership style is very important to me. I lead by example a lot, and now I'm trying to use my voice more for the team.
And they've responded really well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's say I would hope so.
Yes,
Game 1 is a home matchup for you guys. How important is it to show out for the home crowd and start the season on a high?
It's very big because our home crowd is going to be there. Everybody is going to be there, so we have to show out for them.
Absolutely. All right. My favorite of all time for the season, rapid fire questions. Are we ready? Again, the hardest questions that you will ever have to answer. All right. Funniest guy on the team. Go.
Zay.
Okay. Funniest guy on the team.
Johnny Purdue.
Okay. Dream vacation spot.
Hawaii.
What island?
On no island. I just know Hawaii.
Okay.
Somewhere
Okay.
Hawaii.
Okay. Favorite vacation spot.
Bora Bora.
Really? Okay. That's a good one. Favorite breakfast cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Ooh, mine too. Yes. Yours?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
Or Fruity Pebbles.
Or Fruity.
Lucky Charms.
Okay, but here's the thing with Fruity Pebbles. They get like within 2 or 3 minutes.
Soggy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got to eat them super quick. So that's why they're on my don't eat list. All right. Your favorite show that you're binge watching right now?
All American.
Okay. All American.
I finished All American, but Stranger Things.
Really? Are you on season 4? Are you in the final season?
I watched all of it, ain't gonna lie.
Okay, there we go. Your dream car. Describe the make and the model and the color.
Red Lambo Urus.
Oh, okay, red. What about you?
Hellcat Charger, 2020, all black.
All black. Okay, there you go. So red and black. Okay. Favorite part about Friday Night Lights? Your absolute favorite part?
Probably scoring and the crowd.
The crowd.
The crowd. Well, the crowd is ready for tonight for sure, and we are ready as well. And in just about 20 seconds, we are going to do presenting of the colors as the game for Friday Night Rivals starts right now.